Hey folks, Brad Lutz here. Just a quick video to kind of show what's going on sometimes when you might run into a game where you turn the power switch on the back of the game and nothing comes up on the TV. You know that the game was just working, maybe you turned it off to move it across the room, or you moved it, somewhere else, or somehow the game got turned off, and when you flick the switch back on again, it's not coming back on. And this is commonly found in some of these Nighthawk computers that are maybe 5 to 10 years old. The common culprit here is the CMOS battery on the motherboard. So just to get yourself playing, these Nighthawk computers, they actually use some wiring in there that allows you to hook up a switch to turn the computer on and off, and it's right here on the back panel of the Nighthawk. So it's this top connector here. The top 2 pins are actually connected internally to the power switch on the motherboard, at least they should be. And usually there's a connector on regular games that will go from here out to a switch on the underside of your control panel, and you can flick that switch to get your system to turn on. But if you're using a game that's maybe not an OEM cabinet or custom manufactured or something else, some hacked wiring, whatever, you might not have that switch hooked up. So if you turn on the system like I'm going to do here, you'll see I've got no fans spinning, nothing's turning on, the TV says no signal. What you can do is you can put a little paper clip here. You can take a paper clip or a piece of wire and you can short these top 2 pins. So you just take it in and short them. You'll hear the fan start spinning, which they just did, and then you'll see an image pop up on the TV. The system is turning on. So you can do that to turn your game on and off as many times as you want, but to fix the problem without having to jumper those pins permanently, what you need to do is replace the CMOS battery. So the CMOS battery is located on the inside of the Nighthawk on the motherboard, and each motherboard has the battery in a different location. So like for example, this is a DG41. The battery is on the back side here. It's actually mounted in a vertical holder where it's standing up. It's just a little coin battery. See these in like a car remote or maybe your garage door remote. CR2032s, they're available at Walmart, or you can get them online. I buy mine in blister packs on eBay, usually 5 at a time for about $5–10 a piece. This is a DB75EN here. You can see it's mounted on the back of the motherboard, flat, so easy to get to. This particular box has a DG31 motherboard in it, which is a common one that was used in the games around the 2012 to 2015 time frame, and those are the batteries that are dying now a lot. So on this particular motherboard, we'll pull the power out. You'll see the battery is actually kind of hiding there in the little position right below the video card. So depending on whether or not you have a single wide or a double wide video card, that battery could be obstructed. So to get at it, you just have to remove the video card. So it's 1 or 2 screws depending on whether or not the bracket for your card is a double wide bracket or single wide. Just pull the graphics card out, and now we can easily get at that CMOS battery. I've just got a little flat tip screwdriver to help me press the locking tang out, and then the battery just comes out. You replace it with a new one, and that's it. You put your video card back in, and then just reconnect all your connections. The amount of computers that I've run into in my time that this CMOS battery dies in is actually astounding, believe it or not. I've fixed several computers just by doing this. And they say it's between 5 to 10 years that you'll get out of one of these batteries, but I think some brands are better than others, and I think some of those batteries die sooner than others. So now that the battery's been replaced, you can see we'll turn the power on, still nothing happening. So the last thing we need to do is we need to get into the settings for the motherboard. And for that, you're going to need a keyboard. So, like I've got this one here. It's got a USB connector on it. Or if you've got an older keyboard, like I've got here, you might have a PS2 style one with that kind of a plug on the end of it. I'm going to use this one just because it's the last one I showed you. So system is currently turned on. So in order to get it to come all the way on, we have to jumper it again. So I'm going to use my handy dandy paper clip. Put it in there like that. Fans begin spinning, you'll see an image come up on the TV. Now to go into the settings, you got to hit F2. On most of these motherboards, it's F2. But it usually gives you a little message on the side of the image there that says BIOS settings and then the key that you have to hit. And on that one, it was F2. So this is the system setup, or the CMOS, or the BIOS settings. What you're looking for on whatever board you're working on is a setting in the power area. So like this one here has a power menu. So if you arrow over to power, you'll find this option here where it says after power failure. That's the one that you want to change. So right now it says stay off. You hit enter and you're going to choose power on. You want this motherboard to power on every single time the power switch is flicked on, regardless of what it was doing before. So this will get your system to turn on every time when you turn the power switch on. And you go over to exit and save your changes. Yes. And now the software will begin booting. And just to show you that this saves these changes, I'll go ahead and turn this off now. So now the system is off. And if we turn it back on, the fans are spinning, and you'll see the image come up on the screen. So that's how that's done. So that's changing the CMOS battery on your motherboard.